Hey guys, today I'm gonna give you a review of the game Random Encounters by Regular People Gaming. So I first heard of this game from a Kickstarter I saw online. I was looking for a role-playing game that wasn't too complicated. I've always loved the idea of D&D, but I've never had the time or friend group to be able to play a game, but I enjoy other smaller role-playing games. This one, I saw the Kickstarter for it and I thought it sounded like a great idea. So I decided to back it and waited my sweet time and I finally got it, and it's become quite a hit now in my life. This is the box for it. As you can tell, it has the title on it and a little bit of text. Choose from 14 unique characters and set off on a grand quest filled with exploding mushrooms, evil jellies, and adventures. And it has some of the characters on it. It's a really nice box to begin with. I know that sounds weird, but as a person who loves games, that's something that you notice. This is one thing that I really like about it. Notice it says 1 to 4 players. So even if you don't have anyone else around, you can play it with yourself. Might sound odd, but that's a selling feature for me. Random Encounters is a cooperative role-playing game. In the game, each player takes on the role of an adventurer, and you go on a grand quest with loot, monsters, traps, and events. The players must work together and face encounters found in the forest, the cave, and the abandoned kingdom. After a few rounds on each level, they have to face the boss monster of the level, and after defeating the boss, they can move on to the next level. One thing I do like about this game is it's pretty challenging. The first few times we played it, we didn't win. I find this to be rare with most games nowadays. They walk you through it, they guide you, and it's pretty hard to lose. But this game, you can actually lose, and that has a great replay value to it. So inside the box, we have the character sheets. This is the back of them, and these are the fronts. As the outside of the box said, there was 14 different characters. So there's 14 characters and they're all pretty unique. The character cards are simple to understand. You have the name of the character, you have their battle stats, you have the character's image, flavor text, slots where they can equip items, battle abilities, leader abilities, and health. So this character, for example, is Inalona the Valiant. Her flavor text says, "Don't mess with my friends, or me for that matter. Just no messing whatsoever." Her battle ability is Storm Slam. When she rolls a star while attacking, the star equals 5 plus the current level. And her leader ability is she can draw a loot card before the encounter card. She is stronger on strength than other ones. There's characters such as Kai the Determined, and he's an archer. There's Lake the Merciless, and as you can tell, he has high magic. There's Tara the Fierce. She has high strength and high agility, which is neat. And the ever-known Tumble, who has high agility. All the characters have different combinations of the types of items they can hold. Tumble, as I just mentioned, she can hold 1 weapon and 2 trinkets. Now the items that you can hold are either weapons, trinkets, armor, or familiars. A weapon is obviously a weapon, something that you would attack with. Armor is a piece of armor that would help you defend. A trinket is a type of jewelry or accessory that you would have. And then a familiar is a type of sidekick or animal companion that you'll have. There's the Random Encounters rulebook, which is a little thick, but it's very helpful when you're playing for the first few times. It helps you get a good grip of what to do in game. It has good pictures for reference when you're reading and trying to understand the cards. As well, there are easy to understand examples in here, explaining like the battling. The one paragraph gives an example of the monster they run into and a picture of it, and explains how it works. There are 3 types of encounter cards that the player may draw. There's traps, monsters, and events. There's a variety of events that the player can run into. 2, for example, are the ambushed and the tri-lock. When you draw an ambushed event, you battle a monster, but there's a slight difference. In a regular monster battle, the players will each take a turn attacking the monster first. But in an ambushed event, you aren't expecting the monster, so he gets to attack you all first. The trick lock is a forest event. It's similar to a trap in the fact that you need to make a skill throw. This one, for example, requires you to make a skill roll of 9 agility. If it is successful, the leader will then draw 3 loot cards and choose one to keep, shuffling the other 2 back into the loot deck. It's similar to a trap in the fact that you need to make a skill throw. It does not have any consequence to it, just a reward. A card that is similar but a bit more difficult is a trap. So in this example, it's an exploding mushroom, just like the box warned us. So for this trap, all players need a skill roll of 8 strength or 8 magic. And if they don't make it, they suffer 5 damage to their health. Rolling a star for these is an auto success, and rolling a 1 is an auto failure. The way that attacks and skill rolls are determined are dependent on your character's base skill point, a dice roll, and any equipped items. Tara the Fierce, for example, has a base strength of 4, base agility of 4, and base magic of 1. If throughout the game she's drawn the quarterstaff and decides to equip it, it would give a +1 to her agility, making her agility 5. If she were to do an agility roll, it would then be that 5 plus the number that appears on the die. If Tara the Fierce were to do a roll for that exploding mushroom card, her agility would not matter. It requires something of strength and magic. Her strength is 4 and her magic is 1, so it would be best for her to try for the strength. She would then roll the die and she would need to get a 4, a 5, or a star for an auto success. If she didn't get one of those, she would have to suffer and take those 5 damage to her health. And there's monster cards. This one, for example, is a Will-O-Wisp. It is a level 1 forest monster. Its health is determined by the number in the top corner within the heart. This card says 4x. The x means the number of players. So if you were playing by yourself, it would be 4. And if you had 2 friends with you, and there was 3 of you playing, it would be 4 times 3, which means the total health of the monster would be 12. Some monsters have special abilities, such as this Will-O-Wisp. Its ability is called Fog Wall. If a player rolls a 1 on their attack roll, then the attack misses the Will-O-Wisp, and it hits the player to the left for 2 damage. This monster also has something tricky about it. When you look at its stats, it has a hyphen by its strength. That means that it is immune to all strength attacks. So players must use agility or magic if they wish to cause damage. The yellow highlighting around the monster's magic skill means that that is the skill that the monster will attack with. There are different types of monsters as well. This one in particular is nature and mystic type. There are encounter cards for all 3 levels. The first level being the forest one, the second level for being the cave, and the third one for being the abandoned kingdom. Throughout the game, the monsters do get more difficult, and they have different abilities. At the beginning of the game, everyone is dealt 1 copper loot. If the loot type matches one of the types of items your character can equip, you can equip it right away. Or you can give it to a teammate or trade with a teammate. Working together is very important in this game. You want to help one another so you can conquer it together. There's a leader token, and it's placed in front of the person who goes first. They are leader for that encounter. After each encounter, the leader token switches spots, so everyone gets to be the leader. After everyone has been the leader twice, it's time to face the boss. There's 3 boss cards for every level. The bosses are a lot stronger than the monsters you have been facing. The level 1 bosses, Mother Tree, a Great Golem, and Lord of the Jellies. On the back side of the boss cards are threats. Now these are only for experienced players. I've only played 4 times, so I haven't even dared try to face the threats. The boss monsters are tough enough for me. Just like every other monster, they have 1 skill that they will attack with already determined, and their health is the number times the number of players. Every boss monster has a special ability. The Great Golem, for example, he has a pretty interesting one. He gets a 1 extra defense token at the start of the battle. This means no matter what you roll and what your skills are, when you attack him, he will be able to defend at least against 1 of the points. After the leader draws the encounter and you finish it, a loot can be drawn. The leader can use the loot for themselves or they can share it with their team. For example, if I was Tara the Fierce and I drew a trinket, I would have no use for it, seeing as I cannot equip the purple trinket cards. Therefore, I could give it to a team member of mine or trade with a loot that they have that they might not be using. What makes this game interesting and makes it easier than other role-playing games is the battle abilities, the special abilities each character has are already predetermined. The character's battle abilities can be used when the player rolls a star on the die, or if they decide to use one of these stars. These stars can be placed on any dice roll to turn it into an automatic star. So if you roll the die and you get a crappy little one, you can put the star on top of it and then automatically use your battle ability. Or during a trap, you can put the star on top and create an automatic success for yourself. Each character also has a unique leader ability that takes play on the turn that they have the leader token in front of them. I like the leader ability of Beatrix the Gentle. Her leader ability is at the start of her turn as leader, each player recovers health points equivalent to their current level. When you're at level 1, this might not seem like much because it's only 1 health point. But when you're in the final level, level 3, and you're fighting against tough bosses, you gain 3 extra health points when she's the leader. The first time I played this game, I played it by myself to try to understand it. I didn't even make it past the first boss. The second time, I played it with my boyfriend, so there was 2 in our party, and we didn't make it past the second boss. I played with my entire family, all 4 of us, and we were able to conquer and win. Last night, I played with a few friends of ours, and we came so close, but the final 3rd boss defeated us. It was fun to work together as a team. I really enjoy cooperative games. I enjoy the fun of games, but sometimes people get a little competitive, and that can make it a bit discouraging for other players. So this ranks pretty high on games that I enjoy. If you want to learn more about the game itself, you can find the company, Regular People Gaming, on Facebook as Regular People Gaming, on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram as @RegPeepsGaming, and on Kickstarter as Random Encounters. So shout out to Josh and Jordan, the designer and the illustrator for the game, and everybody at Regular Peeps Gaming. You created a great game, and hopefully I'll be able to conquer it some more with my friends.